How are you? So many times we start up our conversations with how are you? But the truth is that we have tolerance for only one answer, which is I am fine. And the fact of the matter is the world is not fine. There's so much hurt in the world, so much unresolved issues. And what unresolved hurt always leads to is fear. Fear leads to hatred, which is the major reason for the unrest globally around the world today. A lot of people today, aside the physical battles, are also going through internal battles. And the internal battles are usually more intense because they are unseen. In order to conquer the outside enemy, we must first conquer the enemy within us. The world is in the middle of a mental health crisis. It is estimated that almost half of the world's population at some point suffers from depression at some stage throughout their lives. Rather than join the queue, it is important we learn why we get depressed and how we can change it. Because, believe it or not, we create our own negative feelings. And we must ensure that we turn our lives around and be a positive change for others. Here's a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson. We spend more time congratulating people who have succeeded than encouraging people who have not. It is a known fact that modern society has neglected its fundamental duty to help people cope with stress, cope with emotions. We don't have these techniques in our society, hardly do they even exist. As a consequence, people suffer from chronic stress, and chronic stress leads to all these lifestyle disorder and ultimately mental health problems like depression, anxiety, drug addictions, you name it. And so the only way to help people cope with stress is to have some kind of intervention that helps them cope. Modern medicine has made great advancements in its fight to combat diseases, improving our healthcare systems, and must be given due credit. Unfortunately, however, it is focused on treating the symptoms and not the underlying conditions or the root causes of these ailments at the cellular level. You cannot treat an avalanche or a continuous cycle of lifestyle disease with pills and flu shots. It will not work. Pills were only meant to suppress, or drugs were only meant to suppress the symptoms and not actually cure the disease itself. It is why new methods have to be considered as an intervention technique to help correct this. Until 5 to 6 years ago, we didn't have an idea to actually the effect of what modern nature is doing to us. The way people become healthy now involves 4 things: stress control, nutrition, sleep, and exercise. It is scientifically documented that only about 10% of our genes dictates how long an average individual lives. 90% is dictated by our lifestyle. What that means is we are not victims of the genes we inherited, because we can change them if we choose a different and more suitable lifestyle for our body than those who came before us. An analogy of what I'm talking about is our bodies are our gardens, and the lifestyle we choose is our gardeners. Well, there's no actual evidence that this practice will extend your life. as it is left to God to decide how long an individual will live. What it will do, however, is it will make the years you have much more healthier, vibrant, both physically and mentally. Science tells us now that our biological potentials is about 130 years old, which means till you are 70 years of age, you don't even begin middle age. The foundation to longevity, strength, and good health is completely dependent on the four I mentioned earlier: stress control, nutrition, sleep, and exercise. So if what dictates how long we live is our lifestyle, what then dictates our lifestyle? It is our beliefs. This brings me to the topic I'll be sharing with you today, titled The Biology of Belief. What is a belief? A belief is the marriage of thoughts and emotions. Whatever we believe in, we tie our emotions and feelings to it. The reason anyone gets depressed always comes down to the consistent thought they think and the consistent beliefs they hold to. Our beliefs is an integral part of us, and it's based upon two things: our perspective and our perception. The two of those can cause a devastating issue with our belief system. Perspective is about a particular attitude. It is how you feel about something. It is a point of view. But perception is your way of understanding. It is how you interpret a thing. And it's the mental impression that goes in your mind. Two brothers were raised by an alcoholic father. One grew up to be an alcoholic. When he was asked what happened, he said, "I watched my father." The other brother grew up and never drank one time in his life. And they asked him, "How did you do that?" He said, "I watched my father." This gets to show us that perception, how we interpret things, can affect our belief system. To understand our perspectives and our perception and how they became a part of us, it will require an understanding of how our beliefs were even formed in the first place. I know it will interest you to know how your beliefs were formed. Join me in my next presentation as I'll be showing you how our beliefs were formed.